I just have a couple ideas and stuff that I'm gonna go over, share with everybody, and then um, we can just talk about the price action. We just had an exciting sell-off or last night, Saturday, so that was fun, and I'm gonna just describe how I decided to trade it and everything. Um, so just because of how the situation unfolded, I definitely was down on the 15 or 5 minute charts, and I tried to scalp. I tried to scalp here, and then I got out, got my stop hit, and it finally did scalp, catch this, and it started to look weak here, and so I got out. And then this morning, I got into here. No, sorry. Yeah, here up to here, and now I'm out. But if this price can stay above this center line, I have this. This is a range to me. So we moved all the way to the other side of the range. I thought we'd have resistance here in the center of the range coming back up, but we haven't. We've gone right through it. Now we just need to stay above this center range for me to stay bullish. I think we're going to get some resistance here, but it should not be serious. Maybe it's a buying opportunity. Um, and then I don't know. I'm feeling pretty bullish about it. I think we're going to go up. I think we're going to go up from here. Now I don't know if that means alts are going to go up, but I'm just going to share some of my ideas here. If you do decide to buy alts, this is how I'm thinking about it. And depending on how Bitcoin behaves, like if we can break out here, if we continue to the other side of the range, I'm hoping that we're probably going to come back down here and test this. And then my hope is that we're going to continue to the other side of the range. So maybe tomorrow we test this, continue to the other side of the range. That's what I'm thinking about right now. And then my hope is we break above. Now, we might not, and we'll see how that goes. But or depending on like the vibes and everything, maybe that will be a good time to short. But right now, I think we're still in a bull market. I don't want to get into this whole, there's this debate now that the 4 year market, 4 year cycle's dead and all this. I don't think any of that talk really matters. We just need to focus on what price is doing. So right now what we know is Bitcoin price is performing well. Most altcoins are performing poorly. And so we just need to focus on getting into the alts that performing well and tracking Bitcoin price. And that's how we're going to make money. And we're going to need, and doing anything else is you're going to take a lot more risk. If you want to try to catch the bottom in memes and all that crap, there's a lot of risk. They might not come back. So for me, how I'm going to trade the market is I'm just going to focus on Bitcoin and a handful of alts that I feel meet a certain criteria, and I'm just going to go over that so that way everybody can benefit from it. So I remember during the sell-off, I told myself, like, if we could stay above this January low here that we had a couple weeks ago, that would be amazing. That would be bullish, and we did. So I'm very happy about that. I think this is pretty bullish wipeout there with the whole trade tariff thing. So let me just share the altcoin ideas and how I'm thinking about this going forward. So first thing, I think it's really important to pick altcoins that are either brand new or really old, and the really old ones have to be fully diluted. Like all the tokens have to be out on the market. And you can see that you can go to CoinGecko and see the FDV to market cap ratio. So the ones that I'm looking into and I've talked about previously on this channel, are Arweave, Litecoin, Doge. I think if you think memes are going to come back, or if you want to play into the Doge thing, you can do that as well. I'm not doing that right now, but definitely one to think about. The newer altcoins, Ondo, which is a real world, or RWA, so real world asset protocol, and has some events coming up. I think in a week or so. So look into the events or whatever. It's probably going to be a sell the news event. So maybe be able to get in then or get in now or whatever. But I think that's an important protocol to keep an eye on. Has a lot of energy around it. And it's a newer chart. And then Hype, of course. Hype's held up very well. So both Ondo and Hype held up very well during this sell-off, and so that's pretty exciting. As far as ETH goes, so ETH BTC, I'll just show you like how I traded ETH BTC. So I guess I can get rid of the, oops. I like to look at ETH BTC on the monthly here. So, I mean, we got into complete capitulation territory here. Why is it? Okay. That's why. Okay. So, I went over this in a previous video, but I tried to buy ETH BTC bottom 0.03. I took a small profit and then got out. Had my stop run, and now it wicked down. And then in that video, I also said that I put a order at 0.205. So I think my order was right around here. It went up, and yeah, last night I closed it around here. So I'm not holding this. I'm not in ETH BTC anymore. I don't know. I'm going to watch this carefully and then make a decision in the following days whether that's the bottom or not. Like I've said before, you know, it looks like capitulation, but it could go lower. And the market's different now. I think, you know, this sell-off proves we're in a different world now than like 2021 or even like the last couple of years. And I think it's important to just note that we're not going to be in a market where everything goes up. We're going to be in a market where you have to be selective. You have to, there's going to be you're going to have to be able to identify some sort of fundamental value if you want to hold an altcoin for any period of time. The narrative and the story behind it. Is it doing something useful? Like the market caps need to be justified, and I think this right here, ETH right here, losing to Bitcoin is proof of that. Like Bitcoin, the market cap is justified, and or at least that's what the market's saying. The market's saying the market cap of Bitcoin's justified. It's not so excited about ETH. Now that could change, and I think there is potential for me to be able to there's potential to buy or get excited about ETH. I do think like as far as ETH goes, like Uniswap v4, the hooks, in which it's like for developers, it allows you to have more power and manipulation over like a liquidity provider pool, or the liquidity pool, sorry. So like the hooks, you can like determine, you can add certain details on top of the liquidity pool that allows you to do different things. And the hooks could be used for tax purposes. It could be used for MEV collection. It could be used for novel meme coin development. I think Uniswap v4 hooks has the potential to reignite a DeFi summer-like experience on ETH. Panoptic Options does perpetual options, so options that don't expire. Options have yet to really take off on chain, primarily because we have perpetual futures, and perpetual futures are kind of simpler to understand, and it's very directional, whereas options, you can do a lot of very interesting things, but it was always very difficult to get it to work or get people excited about it on chain, primarily because of liquidity. Like, how do you do liquidity? And Panoptic kind of solved this by building on top of Uniswap v3, and I think they also are on top of v4. But they're interesting. I played around with it a little bit, but they're on mainnet, and gas fees are atrocious right now. I think primarily because we had that whole liquidity cascade and everything last night. But like, I don't know. It's unless you're going to use a lot of, like, if you're just going to do small funds, it doesn't make any sense. So just because of gas fees, but we'll see how. I think it's something has potential, I guess, is another way to say it. And then Mega ETH is another L2, as far as I can tell, that is geared towards more speed, more transaction throughput. I don't know too much about Mega ETH, but people in the ETH community seems a little excited about it, so I think it's something to keep an eye on. So those are like the three things on the top of my head of like what could bring ETH back, and those are like the three things that I thought of. I was like, well, those are the three things I'm going to keep an eye on, and if there's a lot of energy around any of them, there might be a lot of energy around Uniswap hooks, then I think that might be the bottom in ETH BTC, is my point. So those are my thoughts. I thought I would share them after this flush. I still think it's a bull market. I just think it's a selective bull market. You got to buy certain things, and it's in some ways crypto is going to eat TradFi. Everything's going to be tokenized. Everything's going to come on chain. Things are going to become more permissionless, hopefully. Regulations are going to change. But in other senses, TradFi eats crypto in that, like, the fundamental analysis, like, things need to have a story that makes sense for people to buy into them. That like, we were able to skip that part, that you could just skip from the story to the money without it completely making sense in previous bull markets. I don't think that's obviously the market's telling us that doesn't work anymore. You have to have something of value. There's a few exceptions, like maybe Doge is an exception, maybe Pepe is an exception, but the exceptions are rare, and you could hit the exception, you could get lucky, but you got to be very careful, and it's getting harder to trade, but that's what makes this fun. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, leave me a like, and nothing I've said, by the way, is at all investment advice. This is just me talking for entertainment purposes. Alrighty, take care.